Hello everyone. So today I'm doing a budget run on the Wicked Moon trial. It's going to be, no rainbows and no trust masteries on my own team. So what I'm going to be using is Salil for doing, spirit buff, magic buff, just general dancing for buffing the team. Garnet is going to be, the healer and also the primary damage dealer with her evocation magic, summoning. She's going to summon Bahamut for the big nukes. Riku is going to be doing her re-raise limit burst and things like mitigation on the team, resistance buffs. I'm giving her safety bit, so when the death turn comes, she doesn't lose her synthesis and she can just keep doing her rotation uninterrupted. Ash will be a damage dealer, healer, and chainer with her Heavenly Fury skill. And the second Ash is the same thing. They're not going to be doing the primary damage. They're mostly for just building the chain, so the Garnet's Bahamut can do the real damage. And the friend is Angel's Noctis. He is geared for evasion and death immunity, so he can taunt the physical attacks and help with that. He can also do mana regen for the team with cover. So let's give it a go. So for the first turn, we're going to buff Spirit with Salil. Garnet is going to fill the evocation gauge. Actually, first turn, Garnet is going to give us a resist buff because we don't have that yet with Riku's stuff yet. So we're going to synthesis with Riku so she can get that mitigation buff next turn. We're going to fish with Noctis for tanking. And then we're going to start doing Heaven's Fury with the Ashes. Now it's not going to deal much damage because the real damage, like I said, comes from Bahamut, but it does a little bit. It also helps build the Esper gauge with crystal drops. So now we've got the Esper filled for Bahamut. As you can see, Noctis dodges all of the nukes, which helps out. Or all the physical attacks. Alright, now Riku is going to put up her mitigation buff with Hyper Null. That's mitigation and resistances. Salil is going to buff magic for the team. We're going to go ahead and cover with Noctis to start getting some mana regen going. And Garnet is going to summon Bahamut, while the Ashes will Heavenly Fury. Now, Bahamut should take about 60% or so of their life away. Yeah, there it is. So we'll kill him next turn with Bahamut. Now, every 3 turns, the boss is going to do a meteor, which does pretty high damage, but we should be able to survive it. But we're going to have Riku's limit burst just as a backup plan in case we don't survive it. Alright, so Salil will do her spirit buff. Riku is going to Hyper Mighty G, just in case someone does die from the meteor. We need to fish again. Noctis' enhanced fish is only 2 turns, so it's a little restricted. Yeah, I do it every other turn, but it's still worth it. And Ash will Heavenly Fury. And unfortunately, we can't Bahamut yet. Let's see if we can get enough for Bahamut. Just from drops. Yep, we got it. Alright, let's go ahead and use that. Now, it's not going to cap because we did it, the timing was off, but it should still one-shot the skulls. Oh, we didn't quite. Oh well. Alright, so there's the meteor. You know, painful, but we survived. And we're going to go ahead and limit burst with Garnet to fill the Esper gauge. So the limit crystals that drop this turn will go to her. We're going to go ahead and, you know, do buffs, etc. Refresh that. We're going to synthesis again with Riku. And the Ashes will Heavenly Fury, which will heal the team as well as hopefully give some limit crystals to Garnet for later. There we go. We killed the two that survived last round. So the boss's melee attack has a chance to become Comet, which deals magical damage, cannot be evaded. That was unlucky that so many of them turned to Comet that turn, but that's actually pretty uncommon. So it's not really a risk too often. Okay, so we're going to keep our rotation going. Hyper Null All, Dancing with Salil. And we're going to be capping a Behemoth this turn. Alright, so we Behemoth, and then a few seconds later you Heavenly Fury, and that should make it deal max damage. Yep, there we go. Alright, so this is a meteor turn. So again, we're going to put up Limit Burst with Riku, just in case someone dies from that meteor. We're going to limit with Garnet to fill the Esper gauge. Let's say it's an even turn, so we cover with Noctis. And we're going to Heavenly Fury again. Next turn, we'll use Behemoth to finish off these small guys. Yeah, the first phase is kind of slow. You got to kill all these little skulls, each color one time, and there's 8 of them in total. It gets a little more interesting in phase 2. Alright, there's the Comet Moon again. Alright, so we're back to our beginning rotation, which is Synthesis, Dancing. We need to Fish. And you'll notice that Garnet's never having to actually heal, because the Ashes are doing all the healing we need, which is quite convenient, so Garnet can focus entirely on doing Esper stuff, like, you know, Behemoth, or filling the gauge when Behemoth's not available. Alright, so So we've killed 6 of the small skulls. We have 2 remaining, and then we can go to phase 2. Alright, turn 8, so that means we need a hyper null. Celil will continue to rotate her dances. It's an even turn, so we're going to be doing cover. Go ahead and do that. And cover for mana regen. And you'll see that the whole team is mostly staying full on mana because of Noctis's cover. It's quite useful. So we can't quite summon the Esper Gates this turn, so we'll just pray to Eidolons. And we'll summon the Esper next turn with Vehement. Alright, so we're gonna Hyper Mighty G, we're gonna rotate the dance. It's an odd turn, so we got a fish. Let's go ahead and do that. This is a meteor turn, again, so, you know, a rotation every 3 turns. So we Mega Flare, Heaven's Fury, and Heaven's Fury. Okay, excellent. And here's the meteor. But like before, we should be okay. You know, Noctis is quite tanky as a tank. And of course, when the boss doesn't use any common moons, it's even easier. I wish I could turn off his counterattacks, just because they're kind of pointless, but whatever. Alright, even turn, which means we will cover for mana regen. We keep rotating these dances. We need a Sympathist. We're going to Limit Burst with Garnet to fill the Esper Gauge for next turn. And the Ashes will Heaven's Fury to heal the team and deal a little bit of damage. Okay, so we're ready to push the boss to the next phase whenever we're set. But because of the turn rotations, I want to do it a little bit later, so we're going to kind of be like just passing the turn for a round or two. I actually want to push the boss from the turn after the meteor. So odd turn fish. We hyper null. We change our dances. And these 3 are just going to guard. Because again, we're waiting until after the meteor turn to do it. To change the phase. Alright, Celil will change her dance. Riku is going to Limit Burst, because this is the meteor phase. It's an even turn, so we need cover. Alright, and we're gonna use Heaven's Fury with the Ashes just to fill Riku's limit gauge. Because the Ashes won't actually push the boss without Bahamut. Oh, that was the wrong skill. Heaven's Fury. And this should top off Noctis, but if it doesn't, we'll just top him off with Garnet. Oh yeah, he's good. We'll guard Garnet. Alright, so here's the meteor, and now we're going to push the boss on the phase after the meteor. And that gives us the maximum amount of time to recover from the death to get all our buffs back up before the meteor comes again. A lot of Comet Moons. That's alright. Alright, so we're going to simp this with Riku. We're going to go ahead and refresh our dance with Salil. It's an odd turn, so we need to fish. Alright, and we're going to Mega Flare. Wait, that was Mega Flare, right? Double check. Yeah, Mega Flare. Heaven's Fury, and Heaven's Fury. Now the boss is going to AoE Death, and it's going to kill everyone that's not immune, which means Noctis and Riku will survive. Everyone else is going to die, but they're going to come back again because of Riku's Limit Burst. Alright, here's phase 2. There's the death. There's the re-raise. The boss is going to heal himself. That's the last time he heals himself, thankfully. And then, of course, you know, the Little Moon does an AoE, which hurts because we don't have any buffs up right now. Okay, now here's phase 2. So it's an even phase, so we're going to put up cover for regen. Riku is going to Hyper Null for mitigation. Salil is going to Spirit Buff. Let's go ahead and do that. And we continue to push. Now we don't want to push the threshold on the boss this turn, so we're gonna just do this without Bahamut. Because Bahamut wasn't ready anyway. Alright, now next turn we're gonna use Bahamut and cap that chain. Now, at 80%, the boss does one of 4 potential nukes. Now, the worst possible thing he can do is fly to the moon, which will eject Noctis from the fight for 4 turns. If that happens, we're in trouble. It's survivable, but it's going to cause things to get really messy. If he does an AoE debuff, we don't really care, nothing happens. If he does an AoE nuke, it'll hurt, but we'll have re-raise to survive it, or come back from it at least. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and re-raise. And taunt. We're going to put up a buff. Alright, and let's do a Bahamut. Bahamut. Now this should push the boss below 80%, I think. It's hopefully not below 60. Ah, perfect, perfect. Okay, not bad. Now hopefully we survive the meteor. I think we should. Oh, barely, but we did. Yeah, I think the boss did a stat break as his counterattack that turn. Let me take a look. Yeah, see, we're stat broken all our stats by 75%, which hurts, but, you know, we're okay. So it's an even turn, so we need cover. We're going to dance with Salil. We're going to synthesis with Riku. So let's go ahead and do that. Garnet is going to limit burst for Esper Gauge. And the Ashes will chain, which will also heal us. It might not full heal us, but it's not a meteor turn, so we don't really need full health. Yeah, the healing from Ash is nice, but it's not like a real healer. Yeah, see, we're not topped off. Oh, but our regeneration topped us off from cover. Forgot about that. So we're good. Alright, so if we use Bahamut with Garnet, it would actually push 2 thresholds, which we don't want to do. I think it'll push them below 60 and 40, so we're only going to use Heaven's Fury with Ashes. So let's see, it's turn 17. This is when we Hyper Null All. This is why we gave Riku the safety bit, so she can keep her rotation throughout the fight, because she could never die. In theory. Alright, so we need a fish. Let's see, Heaven's Fury. Heaven's Fury. And we're not going to Bahamut because I think this is going to push him without Bahamut. Yep, it did. So we're going to guard Garnet. Now here comes another threshold. Okay, so it was the AoE death threshold. That's unfortunate. That's the lowest chance, only a 10% chance of being AoE death. And the reason that's really bad is because that cleared out all our buffs. And next turn is a meteor turn. But it is a meteor turn, which means we put up, let's see, defense and spirit. So we're going to Hyper Mighty Deeper re-raise. Shooting Dance. We're going to cover. But now the problem is we don't have mitigation this turn. Actually, we're going to guard all the important people. Yeah, because we don't have mitigation, because the death cleared the mitigation. So we're going to guard everyone and try to survive this meteor. Okay, so we survived because we were guarding. As you say, you know, it was extraordinarily painful. But we can begin pushing the boss again next turn. So Salil will do her dance. Riku will synthesis. So we still can't put up mitigation until next turn because of synthesis. We will fish with Noctis. So because of that, Garnet is going to use Life's Harmony for a resistance buff, because we don't have the resistance buff from Synthesis yet. It's also going to heal us because it's a heal as well as a resistance buff. And the Ashes are going to chain for healing as well as just a little bit of damage. And next turn we're back on track again with all our buffs active after that AoE death. Yeah, you see how the little small skulls are doing a lot of AoE damage to the team because our mitigation is currently down. It's also why Noctis is taking even more damage from Comet Moon, and he may die here. No, he didn't. That's good. Yeah, the worst threshold attack is getting your tank knocked out of the fight, because that means the boss just goes wild. But let's see, Hyper Null All. but death is pretty bad too. So now our mitigation is back up. We're fully buffed again. There we go. We've got the dances. It's an even turn, so that means Naka's needs to do cover for mana regen. And let's push the threshold on the boss. So Heaven's Fury. Heaven's Fury. So this is going to be the 40% threshold, I believe. Behemoth should do about 20% or so at least. Oh, that's really painful. We're almost to the last threshold. Okay, so here's another threshold attack. Moon Revolt. Okay, so that's the big AoE attack, which is painful. It's not instant death, but it's almost mega 12 because it's physical damage. And our team has low defense. So once again, we had deaths, and it's a meteor next turn, so we're not going to have mitigation. So we're going to have to do the same thing and guard the squishies. So it's an odd turn, so that means it's time to fish. Celil will put up her spirit buff. We need to Hyper Mighty G for re-raise. Let's see, we're going to Life's Harmony for resistance. And that also heals us. Now we're going to Heaven's Fury, but we're not going to chain it. Because we want the healing, but we don't want the damage. But we do want to get Riku and Celil topped off. Okay, that's all we need. Because the regen is going to get enough after that. Now here's the meteor. The last threshold is coming. Ugh, painful. Alright, so we're going to kill the boss the next time we use, let's see here. Yeah, the next time we cap with Behemoth, the boss should die. So we need to Spirit buff. Turn 22, so we need to Synthesis. Actually, we're going to re-raise, and Garnet is going to fill the Esper gauge. Yeah. And we're going to cover. And we don't want to AoE with Ash because it'll kill that weak one. So we're going to just use some minor heals. Just top off people that are really low. Alright. We might lose Noctis here because we didn't heal, but he's got re-raise. Okay, so I think it's time to finish the fight. So we're going to do that. Just in case we don't finish it, we're going to fish with Noctis. We're going to Behemoth. We're going to Heaven's Fury and Heaven's Fury. And this should kill everything. There it is! Thank you, Behemoth, from the Summoner Garnet. That is the fight with a no Trust Mastery, no Rainbow team, using Just a Friend to tank for us. Alright, good luck to the rest of y'all.